Hello everyone. I'm super thrilled because of the amazing location we are in today, and also for this special guest that we're going to introduce to you very soon. Is someone very deep into the community, so it's going to be very interesting. So let's talk it out. But before we start,
yes,
this is Lisa. Everyone knows her. So
I'm Lisa.
We have other people behind the scenes and you know them. So Stefano, Sierra, hi.
Hello here, and Sierra.
Yo.
Yo.
So we're trying to keep up the speed, and we have a special announcement also to do today that I'm very thrilled to do. So it's actually an announcement for all of you, because we are a giveaway. Let's talk like that. So look at how beautiful is this necklace.
I want it.
It's
but it's not for
amazing.
me.
You can't win it, Lisa.
No.
You can't win it.
Nobody asked you, Annie.
Yeah, and it was actually a donation made from one of our special guests, Amy Armour. So we had Bianca Cordileone, Amy Armour, and this is one of her precious creation. She donated that for us. Just right before Christmas, but then we went in lockdown, so this was supposed to be a gift for you all, but still is. So in order to have this amazing, beautiful necklace, what you have to do is actually subscribe to our platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Apple.
Well, we're actually gonna start with Apple Podcast.
Oh, okay. We're gonna start with Apple Podcast because Stefano Vanni said so.
No, because they can write a review, so we wanna read the reviews.
Be creative. So let's tell us what you think about this beautiful necklace. More specifically, why we should give it to you. So be creative. Like, we're open to any.
We want positive comments.
Exactly.
FYI.
So Apple Podcasts, guys, follow Let's Talk It Out on Apple Podcasts. There will be a link. You will see a link as well, and write a review, and you will be put in a draw. We will give this away. How long, guys? 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're gonna give you
2
2 weeks, guys. And the only way we are able to put you in the draw is if we see your name. Don't be like coming on and having a question mark, because we can't. We don't know who you are. We want to know who you are. We're interested to know who you are.
Exactly.
Alex, you're able to do it too.
That's right, I will.
There you go. See, participation.
Exactly. That's beautiful. So it's more than a call for action, but it's a participation.
Everything is action.
And it's for free. So we received this donation, and we actually really want to gift you with this beautiful, precious necklace.
Yes.
So don't be shy and activate yourself.
Let's talk it out on our Talk It Out.
Sweet.
Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to our first sponsor.
Yes.
Let's Talk It Out has a sponsor. Now, his name is Richard Bab Photography, and he is an extraordinary photographer. I don't know if you've seen his work. He's actually on Instagram as well. He specializes in glamour, editorials, cosplay, fantasy, and fine arts. So his handle is Richard_Bab, BABB_photography. And I guess, Steph, you can put the coordinates up as...
They will be on the screen at the same time. That's right. I believe there's a phone number too. We can get in touch with.
There is a phone number, and it's here.
It's gonna be right there.
Yeah, it's right here. See?
It's written too, right? Isn't it written?
Yes, it is written. But I will tell you all. 514-923-3168.
So again, don't be shy. Go check this fantastic photographer.
Yes, outstanding work, guys. Definitely something to research and perhaps engage for your photography needs. He's exceptional. Yes. Thank you so much to our sponsor.
And let's talk it out.
Let's talk it out now. Woo!
With our amazing guest.
Yes.
So
our guest today is Mr. Alex Montagano.
Montagano.
That was my second guest. Alex Montagano, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So basically, we had asked you to come on because you participate within the community, and you are quite the participant. You have a lot of work that you do. You have a lot of investing, a lot of work. And I'm just going to enumerate some of the stuff that I was so intrigued that I actually discovered online. And you appear everywhere.
Oh.
You definitely appear everywhere. So your specialties include business development, graphic software, general contractor, artistic model maker, renovation, restoration company focusing on older homes and NDG,
Beautiful.
urban planning and mobility, and believe it or not, founder of Team CDN-NDG, and you were responsible for setting up Parkorama. So we're going to get to that. I'm really excited. I did
beautiful
research.
project.
A fantastic project. Now, to start off, I did, like I said, a bit of research, and in July 2021, for the Suburban, you had made a specific statement which caught me. Vision of a better quality of life through community engagement. So before you go and explain that, tell us about you. Who are you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm a small business owner operator in the borough of CD-NDG. Like you mentioned, I'm a general contractor. That's how I make a living. And I focus on renovating, restoring older homes in NDG. I also do work, in Westmount and Montreal West, where there's also older properties. Outremont as well, and the Plateau. But the Plateau is a different type of animal.
Always been.
Yeah. It's just the houses are built very, very differently there. A lot of them don't have proper basements, rubble foundations, very old. Older than what you find in CD-NDG. So yeah, that's what I do for a living, and I have many hobbies. I studied politics and economics and business, so I dabble in politics. I got involved in politics at the municipal level to try to improve the community through that mission statement, right?
Really? Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, this mission statement actually was developed, or my wife helped me with that, and it was the mission statement of the political party, the borough political party called the Team CDN-NDG. So our aim was to help develop a community identity and to better represent the interests of the people of the borough of CD-NDG, which is very difficult to do because it's so large.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I could go on. And I'm also, yes, and I have also my nerdy side. And I'm during the pandemic, I've got very involved in N-scale model train modeling, and that's attracted quite a bit of attention.
Nice.
And I use that as also a vehicle to engage people into a conversation about the community. What does it mean to live in CD-NDG? What we can do together to work together to improve the quality of life through community engagement.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
And just right before we went live,
Yeah.
so we were discussing about the relevance of politics. Not that now you were saying, and I feel that probably everyone can feel that, that now the word politician has a negative
Connotation.
kind of connotation.
It does.
So why we shouldn't think like that?
Well, politics, our engagement in political life is what basically supports our democratic system. And our democratic system, in order for it to function well, needs the wholesale participation of the population. And what's happening now is what you see is that you're having very, very low participation levels. And the people who participate are highly motivated.
Okay.
And typically, the highly motivated ones are coming from the extremities. Right? Either the very, very far right or the very, very far left. And then the pragmatic middle center gets lost in that. So, when we're viewing world events and what's happening, and for example, in the unfortunate situation in Ukraine, one of the rallying cries have been from Ukrainians has been self-determination. We want to, manage our own affairs. We want to be a free country. Well, freedom, is important, but that involves, again, our participation in the process. So when we start having this very, very negative idea of what politics is, it kind of like pushes away people from that. And yeah, politics, a lot of bad things happen in politics. But politics doesn't necessarily have to be the bad. It also could be the good. It could be about a bunch of people getting together to create programs and to support their children, their seniors, their families in the community. So that's really what politics to me is about in a very grassroots level.
Okay.
And a lot of people were very busy with their lives, and I have the same issues. And I think that it's important that we at least at bare minimum we vote.
I think yes. If you want to change and express your views, for sure, you need to go and vote. That's the only, in a democracy, that's the only way we are. We're still lucky, so we live in a democracy.
Exactly.
So it's good.
But I'm very curious as to why people don't do that.
Oh, but I'm sorry, just to interject. If you realized how bad the participation levels were at the municipal level, it'd be shocking. We have participation rates, when you take the number of registered voters and those that actually show up at the polls, you've got only 25% of the people voting.
Oh, wow.
And then we have the first past the post system. You know how that works, right? Like if you have 3 candidates and you get 8 votes, I get 7, you get 6, you win, but you only won by 2 votes, right?
Yeah.
And you actually have more votes collectively between us than you did, right?
That's
so the system in Canada, it needs to modernize. And I don't know if you remember, but Justin Trudeau in his first mandate said, "Oh, this is going to be the last to pass the post election." I don't know if you remember that promise, but he didn't follow through on that promise, and he didn't start introducing a more progressive election system that's based on progressive voting, proportional representation, where the people who voted to us are still represented at the table in some sort of shape or form.
Okay.
Because they represent the majority.
Okay. But why is it important for you in particular for NDG, let's say?
Oh, that's a long story.
It's okay, we have an hour.
In the borough of CDN-NDG, what happened is we had fusions or mergers with other smaller cities in the city of Montreal. We're all grouped together. And what's happened in CDN-NDG is that because we don't have a very strong identity as a borough, we're not able to advance and our interests in a really kind of effective way with the central city. The central city ignores us. We're the most populous borough in the city. We receive the lowest per capita budget in the city for our operational needs, everyday needs. The investment level in our borough is extremely low. CBC did an expose article just recently showing that in terms of facilities, recreational facilities, community centers, we have one of the lowest per capita. We just don't have enough. We're underserved. So this is a constant sort of theme that happens in CDN-NDG, is that we're a large, prosperous borough, one of the largest contributors to the city's finances. Yet at the end of the day, we're systemically discriminated against in terms of monies for our operational needs. That means cleaning parks for Parkorama, for doing things in the city, and then we not getting the proper investments. For a borough of 170,000 people, that would make us the 3rd largest city in the province of Quebec, believe it or not. And we don't even have a public market. We don't even have proper sports facilities. So I could go on, but I don't want to.
Maybe you can also sum up, if you have to say, what's the biggest to you for now, your biggest concern now for your community in NDG, and what's on the other hand, for you, the thing that right now is actually working. So if you have to name 2 things, what would it be? The main issue and what's working for the borough right now? Yeah, exactly. For you, because everybody but as you can see, since you're so much involved in the community, so to you. Well,
I think it always comes down to money. We are not provided money. Money is resources, right? So it's as simple as that. We have money as a community, then we can use that money in a way to serve our needs, and we can decide as a community how we're going to spend that money. And we give the center city a massive amount of taxes. It's estimated right now at $500 million a year, and we're really not getting our fair share of the city budget. What's working for CDN-NDG? Our community spirit. It's phenomenal. It's a really great place to live. You go to the grocery stores, you just, you walk on the street, you say hello to people respond back to you. It's very common just to start conversations with complete strangers on the street who live in NDG. Really an awesome place to live with a great community spirit, and lots of families. And it's also a very beautiful place to live as well. We got the St. Joseph Oratory. We have older buildings that are beautiful. We have people who take care of their properties. and you can see the pride there. Mind you, we have very little parks. That's another conversation. We, as a borough, we have one of the smallest per capita allocations of parks in the city, so very little public green space. But that's another conversation.
This could be one of the issues that you can see.
Well, money. You need money to buy park places.
Yes, of course.
It's all about money, right? When people say, "What is it about, Alex?" It's about money. I think that by focusing on that issue, on the money part, it's something people can tangibly relate to. Okay, it's about money, it's about resources, it's about our capacity to invest in our community.
So tell us a bit about the Parkorama that you had set up.
Beautiful initiative.
Yeah.
I had, with my friends and colleagues in the party, had decided, hey, let's do a Parkorama. It's a concept, right, to bring activities and entertainment to the children and families in our parks. So the idea was, if you go to other boroughs, they have skating rinks with disco music and lights. It's a lot of fun. Teenagers come out and skate, and it becomes kind of a date thing, right?
What park is this? I'm kidding.
So I'm like, why is it that we can't have something similar in CDN-NDG? So we developed the Parkorama. It's a concept, of course. It doesn't actually exist, right? Yeah. We developed the Parkorama vehicle, and we actually did show up at the parks and set up lights and music, and without the vehicle and the fires and the hot dogs, because clearly that takes an investment, that takes money.
Hold on, was that I'm trying to remember. Was that outside in a park? Like there was a stage set up and a band playing and stuff like that?
No, it was very, very much more low key, right?
All about money, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it was basically, we showed up with speakers and we had some lights. We strung, I'd say, rope or wires over the skating rink and put on disco lights and music, and there was a table, there wasn't so much a stage.
You know what's good about this podcast?
What?
We can find a way to convince you to get live music on those events, right?
I'm totally cool with that. Like,
the best way. We know how to do it.
That's another issue with the borough of CDN-NDG, is that we have a very vibrant artistic community, yet our municipality doesn't really have venues or ways of supporting them in a real kind of public way. For example, I just went to an art exhibit, Robert Monzu. He's a pop visual artist, paints, and there was no exhibition space for him in the borough of CDN-NDG. He had to go to the plateau. So, like, why is it we don't have an exhibition place for
that's a good point.
Local artists? Why is it that we don't have shows and featuring local talent? It exists, right? I know it's out there. I've been approached by them. So, but you see, that's kind of like NDG CDN's Achilles heel, is that we take care of things ourselves, right? And the city's, we don't need to give them money, and just make it happen themselves. But at the end of the day, people need to get paid. We can't do things for free, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I also read about a sort of subversive act that you did some time ago.
I do lots of subversive acts.
But this really, like, you brought like an amount of bins and you like
garbage bins, yes. Because
so can you tell me more?
Yeah,
That's so fun.
So
can you collect a lot of them and then you put in some plastic?
They're free.
Bags
It's easy to collect them. Yeah. Well, so in our parks. I was in the park one day, and the city during the summer, in order to, I guess, it's their way of handling waste or litter. They basically get these plastic barrels. I don't know if you're familiar with the blue plastic barrels.
Yeah.
They cut them and they put garbage bags and throw them in the park. And I was in the park one day, and a gentleman came up to me. He knew who I was, and says, what the problem with the litter in the park is the garbage cans. They have no lids. All the squirrels and raccoons are getting in these bins. And it just dawned on me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the other boroughs and see what garbage bins they have. And they had, fancy lids. They had the trash bin, and they had the recycling receptacle. Yeah. So as a publicity stunt, I got these bins, and I put them in front of downtown Montreal City Hall, and I took pictures, and this is good enough for CDN-NDG, good enough for,
Oh my God.
City Hall, right? And I kind of had them in a car, and I took them around and placed them in different parts of the city, took pictures of them, and they were eyesores, right?
Yeah.
So, it was also a symbol of how us, CDN-NDG, are one of the major contributors to the city coffers. We give them an enormous amount of money, $500 million a year, and we don't even have proper garbage cans in our parks. So it's a symbol of how we're neglected and how we're not, it's not taken care of properly by our elected officials. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I am very critical of our representatives. Yeah, because I really don't feel that they're defending our interests.
Okay.
Yeah, whatsoever. No. And the recent election really hasn't changed that. They vote along party lines, and it's not. They're not voting in a way that is advancing us or promoting or defending us as a community.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But let's hope that the people of NDG have more of a broader, I guess, idea of where they want to be headed in the future. I think that's mostly what it is, especially when there's a lot of families there. I think they should have more of a general scope on what it is that they're looking towards in terms of the neighborhoods.
Yes. Yeah, there has to be that conversation, that community conversation. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because, I studied business, and one of the things I studied was marketing. And marketing, you have to get your message out, and there's a lot of repetition to that, right?
Yeah.
So it's repeat, and then repeat again. And they say you need to have eight contacts before you make an impression. Mm-hmm. I think that's higher now because we live in like the hyper, we're always being kind of bombarded, right? All over the place.
It's even more.
So it's just constant, right?
Now I want to jump to the point of you being a general contractor, which I find quite interesting as well.
Yes.
Because you have so many facets to you that it's interesting to pick at every one, I would say, because they all intertwine to a certain extent.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I make them intertwine.
See, that's beneficial. It's beneficial for the person you are and what you do.
Right.
So being a general contractor, what does that mean to you? What is it in terms of why you? Why would somebody have to contact you to be a general contractor? What is the experience or the uniqueness that you can bring to that?
Well, I have a team, and we understand older homes. So what we try to do is work with clients to execute renovations to bring their house to code, but to respect the architectural integrity of their home. Because what we find happens in older homes is that people come and do renovations that don't respect the cultural integrity. For example, they build a very modern-looking kitchen in a 1930s or turn-of-the-century home. Mm-hmm. Then 10 years from now, that kitchen looks incredibly dated, right? Yeah. And actually, when the house is put up for sale, it actually detracts from the house and reduces its value. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is we want to work with owners to basically renovate their house in a way that respects the cultural integrity of their home, and that manifests itself in a lot of different ways. That manifests it in that we could custom mill cut, create the same moldings that they have in their house. The baseboards around the window. Mm-hmm. Custom build doors to match the existing doors in their house, and also do renovations. For example, these turn-of-the-century homes, kitchens, they're outdated. They're not practical for today or the way we live today, right? Yeah. So we need to understand that, and that's why when it comes to kitchens, sure, we'll use like materials that are blend with the home, but obviously we need to make those upgrades, right?
For sure.
They upgrade the electrical, upgrade the venting system, and a lot of problems also we get into the older homes is basements.
Yeah,
exactly.
And how those are very challenging.
Oh, nice.
Because you have 30 years of Band-Aids that have been done, and you go in the basement and it's like a mess of spaghetti wires and plumbing. So, and customers want to renovate their basements. And there's a lot of requirements for that, in the sense that the city, and it's for good reason, want to have backflow valves to prevent flooding. And then a lot of times what happens is that the slab is finished. We need to jack that out because it's cracked. You know what I mean by the slab?
Yes, I was actually in real estate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we insulate.
And you are too.
Well, yeah, kind of, yes.
So there, you know about that.
Yeah.
So it's very challenging, very technical. But it's something I love, and I really feel that my team and I really make a significant contribution to the community once again in maintaining and restoring these old homes.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And what do you see, like two things? Okay, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
One is, what would be the first thing you would suggest someone when purchasing a home that should look in that sense, like technical thing, like in the basement, for example. Go in the basement. What is the first thing that, you know, an unexpert person should look at?
For me, you know, if I go down to the basement and it's clean, it's been cleaned, and you look at the mechanical, what I mean by mechanical, the wires and the plumbing, and if it looks organized and it looks like there was some pride taken there, these are good signs.
Okay, good.
You know, and the other thing too is that in NEG we have problems with foundations, right?
Oh, okay.
But a lot of times those problems can be exaggerated because there's a lot of money in foundation remediation. So you know, I would suggest for someone who's buying a home in CDN-NDG to absolutely get it inspected. But also, you know, if you're buying in this community, you have to remember that you are buying an older home, and you're buying into that lifestyle, and you're also buying into the headaches that will give you as well, right? There's plus and minuses, right?
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Okay, great. And the second question was about what do you see like in the future as a trend toward like the landscape of these old buildings? So what do you see in terms of renovation, in terms of where it's heading? Besides,
very good question. I see what's happened with a lot of these houses is that there are components that are becoming end of life. Like for example, the plaster walls. They're plaster and lath. In those days, they weren't boards; they trawled on the plaster, right, on a kind of a wood backing of. It was like a trellis.
Yeah.
And that's end of life. They're falling down. So this is a trend that you're going to see is people who are going to have to replace it, and that becomes problematic because, you know, it's important in order to maintain the character of the home. You have to keep the moldings, the style of the moldings, and staying. So this is a trend. And the other trend, though, I think it's a positive trend. I see this because my business is growing, because people are interested in my message or agree with my philosophy in the sense of it's an older home, it's an antique, it needs to be respected.
Yeah.
Right? It shouldn't be like, we shouldn't try to take these homes, and this was what happened in the 60s and the 70s. People bought these older homes and wanted to modernize them.
Yeah.
And people thought that was a great thing. But, you know, we're learning that that was perhaps a mistake, right? To me, the best house that you could buy in CDN-NDG, you know, has great bones, right? The plaster, the walls are in relatively good condition, but it hasn't been touched. It hasn't been renovated.
Okay.
My biggest headaches don't come from the original construction. Actually, the artisans and craftsmen who built these homes, they were extremely well talented considering they didn't have the power tools and the equipment we had today. It's the renos in the 70s and the 80s that are the how do you say the nightmares. Just absolute nightmare. They're the ones that make me curse like a sailor, because I tell you, I find stuff and I just can't believe that it was built that way, or they've compromised the structure of the building and they haven't done things properly. And a lot of these houses have the original knob and tube wiring. Are you familiar with the knob and tube? It's like two.
Yes.
And I don't have any inherent problem with that system as long as it's not been touched. But a lot of times this has been touched, and I could tell you horror stories. Really,
I know.
Haunted home, but like from another point of view, it's like from a technical and renovated point of view.
Well, excuse me,
Haunted home.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Yeah, that's it. They're haunted by lack of pride, right?
Exactly.
A lack of pride.
Probably.
And this is how I position myself in the market is, you know, that we want to be considered a higher end renovator, contractor that's focused on details, right? And that's why, you know, I give myself a hard time, and all of us within the team are always pushing each other to deliver the best possible job and finish that we can. Right?
Is this the same team that you have in terms of your CDN-NDG? I guess your municipality you work.
No.
Your
I
political.
have
okay.
that's very separate. My business is separate from my political activities.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I don't get my business involved in my politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
now you know that's rare, right?
Yes. I'm actually saying that. I've gotten calls from the city to do work for them, and I refuse, because I want to maintain
a certain
that distance. Because I find that what happens a lot of time, and it's not a criticism. You know, there's a lot of groups that do very good positive work in the community, but they're financed by the city of Montreal. And by nature, you can't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Yeah.
I'm biting the hand all the time.
It's embarrassing.
I'll call them out all the time. So they don't like that. And I don't want to be put in the position where I'm receiving, financial whatever contracts for them for whatever it could be, and that impacts my capacity for independence. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
If only all politicians were like you, right?
Well, look, I'm a man, and I'm a human being, and I sin. I'm not perfect. Just ask my wife. And I try my best, and I make mistakes. So on that note, though, I'm very committed to my project, and it gives me also a project that I feel gives me satisfaction. It's
important.
Yeah, I think in all our lives we need to find meaning, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that provides me meaning, right?
Definitely, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, that's fantastic. So basically, during the COVID,
Yes.
the general contracting, your political aspects, they were more subdued from what I could imagine. And you had another hobby that you sort of embarked on.
That's right.
To sort of compensate for that, which I find very interesting
Yes.
because you have the patience. Me, I would just like
Everybody says that, but the thing is, one of the main criticisms people have of me is that I'm impatient. So it's odd that I have been able to find the patience for this hobby. Yes.
Oh, really?
Of model train railroading. Yes.
Okay, so how did that start? I'm very curious
Yeah, me too.
because one day you don't wake up and say, I'm going to be building mini models. I wouldn't do that.
Well, I've always had an interest, right? I'm of the generation, and I'm assuming that this gentleman as well is of the generation where we were young. We got models. Did you do that?
Car models and plane models?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course.
Yeah, we assembled models.
Which was just like when you say generation, it was just like a couple of years ago, not very long ago, right? That's what you mean.
We are not included.
I'm old. You're very young. Of course.
Thank you.
We are not included, as you can see.
You're coming on my podcast forever.
That's right.
Every week.
So when I was a kid, that was a very common thing for young people to do. And it was available at pharmacies. You could buy them all over the place. So this is kind of the world that I was born into. So I did this when I was young, and then life consumes you, education, girlfriends, career, and but then I got the bug again. I went to there was a model train show at the Dorval Community Center, and I went there and I got the bug again. And so I'd like to get back into this hobby again. And but putting that aside, I was always interested in trains. And when my son was young, I don't know if you've ever been to the Expo Rail Museum.
The train museum.
In Saint Constant. I recommend that to everybody. It's a phenomenal museum. Kids love it. So I got back in this hobby. And I also, I did mix my model train with politics.
Oh, no!
Yes.
There
Because
you go.
I created the models inspired on CDN-NDG, and I made very recognizable landmarks like the Orange Julep, the Haute Saint-Joseph, businesses like Tavern on Monklin, Chalet Barbecue.
Oh my God!
Loyola High School, come on.
I've
been waiting for that.
I haven't done Loyola High School. That's very
need to.
technical.
I don't
That's
blame
very
you.
technical.
I don't blame you.
You need to.
I don't have the space for it. It's like I have to make decisions and choices.
That's what I was
Very-
about to ask.
You can do
You didn't even make the cut.
Oh, but
You could do the old school.
But I did Five Roses.
Okay.
I
nice.
did.
Oh, nice.
I did. The guaranteed pure milk bottle,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
water
of course.
tower.
Okay.
I did that. The Basquiat Bridge that crosses in Ville Saint Pierre that crosses Lachine Canal,
yes.
the drawbridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did that. I did an older swing bridge but they're not operational anymore. It's different. Instead of going up and down, it swings on a pivot to let the boats pass.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the older system. And then I built, it's my proudest model, more than the Haute Saint-Joseph. I built the LaSalle Coke. Do you know the LaSalle Coke crane in Lachine Canal? This big black ominous crane. It was during the Industrial Revolution, the 30s. They brought coal in the Lachine Canal. and they treated this coal and they made sour gas and the coal that they used to heat the houses. I built that, and that model took me about 100 hours to build.
Oh my God!
Ooh,
Wow.
ooh.
It has an elevated train that goes back and forth.
You need a lot of space, indeed, in your home.
Well, I'm an N scale.
Ah, okay.
So HO is the standard scale, and that's 87 times smaller than the prototypes. Prototype is what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
N scale is 160 times smaller. So people are only a half inch tall.
Oh my God.
So
It's like Lego.
so yes, exactly. So
Smaller than Lego, actually.
Probably smaller.
it's smaller, much. It's smaller Lego. Yeah, it's small.
It's smaller than Lego.
The men are,
Who's been playing with Lego recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
The men are, I think, in Lego are about an inch.
Yeah,
an
they're
inch
like
to-
that.
Yeah,
Like
inch.
that,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
It's bigger. It's
yeah,
like
wow.
that.
Yeah, the people
Oh
in
my
N scale are very, very small.
Okay.
And sometimes when I do models and I post them online, like you've seen,
Yeah.
I'll put like a dime or a
To
penny
show the scale.
to show the scale so
Yeah.
people can appreciate how small it is. And because I'm an N scale, I don't like my layout. If it was an HO, the standard scale, would be like 20, 40 feet long by 6 feet wide. But because it's N scale, it's half that. So
Oh
it's
my
10,
gosh.
it's 10 by 10 by
Still, you
3
need
feet.
like if you keep continuing.
Yes,
building,
yes, but I have to like
compromise.
yeah, and I have to moderate my time spent in the hobby because it just sucks time.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
And the other interesting aspect of the modeling is that I got it. Are you familiar with 3D printing?
Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I bought it. I thought, oh, it'd be cool if I had a 3D printer and
Oh,
I could use. They have 3D modeling software,
Uh-huh.
and I actually design components and I print. Structures and models and components of models. So it's a really enjoyable experience, and it's allowed me to explore new technologies. And it's also been able for me to express my creative side. And I have big news.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, big news. You ready?
Yes.
NDG Art Hop, right,
Uh-huh.
has asked me to participate in their open house for studio for artists in the
Oh,
community.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
As an
nice.
artist. Yeah, oh my God.
So
this is
Amazing.
they saw me online, and there was a debate, mind you, because is this art? Is it visual art? It's a model? And they said, no, look at this guy. He's making models that are, it's all custom. It's not like something you buy off the shelf.
Yeah,
Mind you,
yeah.
there's off the shelf models in my layout. I won't deny that. But I've really made an effort to try to really capture.
And when
some
is
of the
it?
local-
When is gonna be the opening?
It's in May. It's I have the.
Oh, you want me to go? You want me to grab the phone?
not my phone, my jacket. It's in
Your
the inner
jacket.
pocket. Yeah. Awesome.
Sorry.
Jeez, yeah.
I just want
Great.
to have things go flying here.
This is
Whoa.
this is a first on Let's Talk It
Yeah,
Out.
wow.
There's a lot of firsts tonight.
I really should have prepared myself better. Oh, did I take it out and put it in my pocket in anticipation of this event? I think I did.
Oh boy, look
So-
at
So
that.
you were actually prepared.
Well,
there
you know
you
what?
go.
You'll tell us and we'll put it on the screen for sure.
All right. Okay. Here it is. I found it. There it is.
So guys, be prepared. In May,
May 28th to 29th from noon to 5 o'clock.
Oh,
So
nice.
I expect you guys to come over
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go.
and see the layout.
Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious. How do you know what to do in terms of the modeling? Does it just come into your mind, or are you
What to do in terms of what
the
decision.
model? Like, how do you know what model to construct? Let's say you just drive around town and say, "I'm doing the orange julep today."
That's a good question. I have fun with that online. I usually will focus on a really recognizable, landmarks,
Landmark, yeah.
like the orange julep. But I tease people. I say, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing a model. What should I do next? Should I do Walmart or the orange julep?" And then there's this huge, massive argument that happens online because, of course, nobody wants me to do Walmart, right? And
Costco.
yeah.
I knew it.
And
I knew it.
I did that also with Chalet Barbecue against Kentucky Fried Chicken, right?
Oh, nice.
And it really created this online debate and it created a lot of interest, right? And it was also, again, my modeling is very tied to my politics. I use it as a segue
Yeah.
to talk about politics, the community, right? So, because people, it's hard to keep people engaged on a political conversation for a long time, right? So, and we all suffer from that, right? Politics is heavy. This is my way of making it light. And it's also a way for me to express my nerdiness, right? Get it out there.
You know about that, eh, man? Nerdiness?
Because
Big time.
I think everybody on some level is a nerd. Is that correct?
I am with you, man. I'm with you. Hey, you know what? Apparently, it's cool to be nerdy sometimes.
It's actually, I've embraced it. I take ownership. I own it now. I'm a nerd.
I'm gonna go with that.
I'm a nerd.
Well, on that note, we have questions.
Okay, good.
We have a game coming.
Yeah, a very fun
Uh-huh.
game,
All right.
which I never understand how to explain. So I'll let Lisa
Right.
just doing that.
Well, actually, the time clock thing really just shot right out of the window. It's the original premise was questions, and you have 5 seconds to come up with 3 answers for that question.
Oh, this looks dangerous.
Called
They really
rapid
the
response.
first things that actually comes to your mind.
Yeah, you have to do it. Like, and never mind, it's like no holds barred. So whatever comes to mind first,
good.
that's what you have to say.
Oh my
let
God.
the inner nerdiness come out.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah, but I'm also a contractor who swears like a sailor. So this could be dangerous.
We're allowed to swear. So
Yes, we're allowed.
let it out. Let it rip.
No. Alrighty.
All right, so
So
Sierra.
Sierra's asking the questions. So.
Yes.
What is this letter?
That's
for the love of
FNL, I
God.
believe.
Yes,
It should be.
FNL.
So you'll get an example. Lisa and Francesca will do the first one.
All right, fair
and then the next one will be for you.
Awesome.
So here we
Okay.
go with Sierra, our camera lady.
Hello, it's me again. What's up?
Hello.
Awesome. Hi.
Okay, so Francesca and Lisa, name 3 people who live on your street.
Me first or you?
That live
On your
Yeah.
street. 3 people that live on your street.
well, my neighbors. So oh my God. Hugo, Cassandra, and Melissa.
Okay.
Awesome. Great.
Me, it's Donata, Francois, and Claudette.
Awesome.
Hey guys!
Hello.
Sharon, John, and Jerry. Hi guys.
Hello. Okay.
So Alex is the
We're
next
ready.
question.
Oh, Alex, name 3 apps you play.
Oh, Risk, Backgammon. That's it. 2.
Those are apps?
I've heard of Risk, actually.
Yeah, I play Risk Online. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I take risks
Yeah.
every day.
The streamers I watch play
Inner nerdiness.
Yes.
Love it.
But I love backgammon. Anybody wanting to play backgammon, I'm always up to a backgammon game.
I'm
Yes.
terrible at backgammon.
Yeah.
Francesca and Lisa, name 3 things that are funny.
Who's first?
You.
I'm really glad you asked. that
Okay.
question.
Hair, facial expressions, Stefano Bani.
It's not a thing.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Comedian, funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have went with funny looking, but comedian. I'll
she
take
didn't
that
say
one.
that.
Are you-
It's
are you
all
guys-
about context.
Are you guys sure you're not married?
We.
I'm
Okay.
really. You're giving me that vibe.
Oh, I'm married to somebody else.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, 3 funny things. Licumbari series.
Yay!
So you guys should watch that to have a great time. Then, what is funny? My dog is very funny. I have no idea what else is
And she goes to
funny.
the bathroom everywhere.
Yes, exactly. When she poop, she's very funny. And then what it's funny, well, me, when I say like imprecation in Italian, some random imprecation. So these are 3 things.
Alex, name 3 animals that growl.
Dogs, ducks, and believe it or not, geese.
Ducks growl.
Ducks growl?
Actually, I take the ducks back.
I was gonna be kind of concerned.
Yeah, geese hiss. They don't necessarily growl. Same thing for ducks. So yeah,
They hiss?
yeah, geese hiss. Oh
What's
yeah,
this?
hiss.
Like a goose, Canada
Canada
goose.
goose. Yeah,
the Canada
yeah,
goose.
They hiss? You mean like a cat?
yeah. Yes, they
The jacket?
It's a different type of hiss, but it's a hiss like a cat. Yes, believe it or not. We have geese at the cottage, so I run into them and they're
How
very
close
aggressive.
have you gotten to a goose?
A geese. Pretty close because they come up on the shoreline of our cottage to feed, and they come with their kids. And when you approach them, they're not that afraid of you. Well, they are. But if you approach them and you come too close to their kids, they'll get pretty upset.
Really?
They'll hiss at you. Yes.
I
Yes.
never heard of a hissing duck.
No, not duck. Excuse me, goose.
Oh,
Geese.
yeah, but what's the third animal?
Okay, I got hiss. A llama.
A llama grow?
They spit.
They spit.
And then they spit on you.
I like.
They don't grow.
Okay, this one's not that great. Can we go to the next one, please?
Francesca and Lisa, name 3 sounds that annoy you.
Oh,
Sounds?
Oh, songs.
songs.
No, sounds.
Sounds.
Oh, okay,
Sounds.
okay.
Klaxon, like a hornet.
Horn,
Hornet?
Yeah, the klaxon, no? The klaxon of the
Car horn.
car horn.
Car horn, yes.
See, I'm funny. What was the question? Sounds.
Sounds.
Oh my god, the scratch on the la lavagna
Yeah, the
chalkboard. Yeah, oh
chalkboard.
my god, that is terrible. And the same kind of things with the forks on the plate.
The plate.
Oh my god, sorry, it's just already now. It's terrible.
Giving you weebie-jeebies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's when somebody shuffles their feet and they don't lift their feet. You hear the shuffle, slurping. Oh my god, that to me. Woo!
I can vouch.
Like
Huh?
I can vouch.
Yeah,
when like you eat the soup and it.
like in our episode of Pet Peeves. I'm sure everybody saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm sure everybody saw that. And loud sneezing.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad loud.
I would be dead within the first 5 minutes.
No, I'm talking about the consistent, like,
Okay.
It's like, what the heck, man?
Okay.
Okay, last question for Alex.
Ah.
Name 3 things you can't do in the dark.
Model railroad.
This is difficult. Whoa,
Electrical work.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's pertinent.
You
Very
saw
good.
it?
On that note, I do. Yes. On that note, when I work, I always have a headlight on my head,
Uh-huh.
To
and
make sure that clearly.
because I'm always working in older homes, and the lighting is it's all most times it's horrible, and it just becomes a common thing now. A part of my routine is put my light on my head when I go to work. I always have it on.
Oh, my
And
God.
it's so bad that the guys at the plumbing store call me Buzz Lightyear.
That's funny.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. So we don't have any more questions?
Doesn't look like it. We can make some up.
Oh, no. Okay.
Go ahead. Come on.
Go ahead. Be creative.
Well, okay. Now I'm on the spot. All right. Name. This will be for all 3 of you. Name 3 top 3 items when you go grocery shopping. Top 3 items when you go
Okay.
grocery shopping.
Okay.
Eggs, prosciutto, and cheese.
Chicken, bagels, and margarine.
That's like really unpleasant.
All right.
Pasta, cucumber, parmigiano.
Pasta. Okay.
Cucumber I like very much.
Pasta, cucumber, and parmigiano.
Yeah,
That's a very
I always buy the
Oranges. I wish I had said oranges.
Yeah.
Wine.
There's no gimmies here.
Wine,
You can't take
wine.
it back. There's
Okay.
no way.
No
you're
mulligan,
done.
no mulligans.
There's no mulligans on
I
this one.
see.
And then favorite wine. Favorite wine.
Ooh, Celeste, Argentina.
Oh, yeah?
No, excuse me, Spanish. I apologize.
Oh.
Favorite wine.
I don't know. I like a lot of wines.
Yeah, me too. Recently, this very good Chardonnay from California, Triana.
See.
It's very, very good. It's very, very strong, but like from California, usually the whites are pretty much unbalanced. But it's very, very good. Triana. This is probably I shouldn't say
Okay,
that.
that's all right.
Maybe it's gonna be our next sponsor. You know?
That's right.
We should call them.
We're definitely gonna drink it. So.
Definitely.
Hey, I have no problems. I have no problems.
Me
doing it.
neither.
No, for me it's red. I like red, but I like the fruity red. So I don't really have one specific. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying the because they put a lot of sulfates in wine.
Yeah.
And I'm trying the bio reds.
You don't
I
make
don't
you don't
like
make
the
wine.
wine.
No, I don't.
I know,
My
but
grandfather did.
That's
I don't make wine.
unbelievable. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
we're expecting you. to
Yeah,
doing
I'm a
that.
failure. I don't make wine.
Because we're waiting for more.
I've done the
parts, and
math.
I
I've done the math on wine, and when you buy the grapes and the time you spend and the resulting product,
Yeah, but
it's
the
cheaper
fact
to go
is
to
not-
liquor the store and buy it.
Gotcha.
And it's the same math that I use on growing tomatoes because I'm half Italian. You think I have tomatoes in my backyard? Well, the money you spent on the seedling, because you got to buy a seedling, because the problem is our growing season so short, right?
Yeah.
And by the time you get the tomatoes, and then I'm in NDG, we've got believe it or not, a lot of wildlife. We got raccoons, groundhogs, squirrels, rabbits, and birds. So you got to compete with them to get the fruit, the tomatoes. So I've done the math.
Call my dad. He'll have the BB gun ready.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's that whole like it's very conflicted, right? You like to have the animals, but then you know you want to have a garden. And you want to be able to enjoy your produce, right? And it's the same thing with trees. In NDG, we have a lot of mature trees, and the city wants to protect that. But at the same time, we're having this conversation about growing our own food, right?
Yeah.
But you need sun. The trees are creating shade. Nothing will grow, right?
That's besides the disasters, the trees, you know, with foundations, the roots.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's
the water says, you know. Everything.
Again, it's you have to have pragmatic conversations about this because it's impossible to have like be dogmatic about it because you know there's always issues related to the
rooftop. It's all about the rooftop now, right?
But the problem is the houses in NEG weren't, the older homes weren't built and designed for that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but there's a lot of wildlife, and it's exploded because now we have compost pickup, right?
Yeah.
So now you have this other source of food, right?
Sure.
I'm always getting raided by the squirrels. I even put a massive brick on top of my compost bin, and the raccoons find a way to get it off.
They're really smart, huh?
I've never seen one.
I've never seen them. Oh boy, they're scary.
And we have skunks too. Yeah.
I seen the skunk. It's so cute.
No, don't get too close,
So
dog.
don't get too. It's not too
The
cute.
dog was barking at her. She was even like considered the dog. Like she was like.
Skunks hiss.
What's
Skunks
skunks
hiss.
hiss? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Sorry.
They don't growl,
E
though.
puzza, no?
Yes, that's
My
that's-
dog was sprayed by the
Really?
yeah. Sasha, remember? She was sprayed by the skunk. It was horrible. Never mind. That was a nightmare.
You have to bathe in tomato soup.
Nah,
No.
it's all.
When I was young, it's like you got sprayed, but you have to bathe them in tomato soup.
No, what
At least
happened
make it a
was-
bloody Caesar. I
Yeah.
would go in.
Are you sure
I love
you're?
that one.
That's how
Are
you
you
do
sure
it.
you're a nerd? I don't know. I don't know
Well,
anymore.
depends. Every night's different. Every night's a different story.
That's so nice. I love that.
Actually, it's funny
A
because
bathe in a.
when our
Oh,
dog
bloody
was sprayed by the skunk, and we had washed her in the bathroom, she did that, the dog shake.
Right?
And when you walked in, it was like a mass murder just happened in the bathroom. There was tomato juice everywhere.
Oh, so you did wash it in tomato juice?
Yeah, we followed the myth. It doesn't work.
Mom, you know what? My teacher told me that tomato juice doesn't work. It's actually tomato paste that works.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
It's
buy
more
that
lasting.
and that's
It's
why
more-
She still stunk.
Oh yeah, no, she smelled. It really it's a myth. That I have to be honest,
Oh, yeah.
it is a myth. Yeah, but I mean, all the animals they live everywhere, even La Nouvelle. Like it's just horrible.
Well,
Even in Villeret,
Yeah.
the skunk was there.
my attitude, my feeling about it is like I'm sure a lot of us have. I have this anxiety about the environment because it's all global warming,
Sure.
and I feel like there's a lot of wholesale pollution going on. We don't respect the planet. And when it comes to animals, whatever they may be, it's very conflicted. I'm torn, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to see the natural animal,
Going around.
and living and going about their business. But at the same time, we have to find a way to live together, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Ish.
yeah.
We are the kings,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on. We're the top.
We are.
Well,
we are.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not to be mean. We do have to live together, but I mean, we're the smarter species, right?
Really?
We're the smarter.
So if you're ever in the Sahara and facing a lion, tell me who the person who's on top. You are the lion.
Me with a gun?
I didn't say you had a gun.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't be there.
Yeah, you were there with like meat. You were carrying meat around.
I'm talking like me with a gun. Like I would even know what to do with it.
There's a YouTube video of that. Some guy got in the hammock, a whole bunch of meat in the savannah with the lions. And
Oh my god.
just stupid things to do, right? Just like the show. You ever seen the movie Jackass?
Yeah.
It's like of that nature.
There's a new one that came out. Actually, it's pretty scary. Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the new one came out. Yeah,
Oh my
whatever.
god, that's funny.
It is funny. It
Dumb
is
and
funny.
Dumber 3.
Dumb and Dumber 3. Exactly.
I like the first one.
Oh yeah, with the big ski boots.
Oh, nice.
They were precious. The Dumb and Dumber with the big. Remember the boots that Jim Carrey wore? No.
Oh my god.
Oh
Jim
my God.
Carrey, is
That-
he even acting anymore?
No, I
don't know.
don't think so.
I
Does he
haven't
need
seen
to?
him.
I never
Does he
liked
need
him.
to? You didn't like
No.
him?
I always find them very upsetting every time. Like
I
his
could watch-
character, like,
I could watch
don't
Liar
like him.
Liar, and I know the jokes, but I'm gonna laugh anyways because
No,
they're
for me it's really
hilarious.
disturbing.
It's Ventura.
That one's funny
detective.
too.
Yeah, for me
Yeah,
it's so
Pet Detective
disturbing.
was-
Like, really, it's really disturbing, you know?
But
Disturbing?
You're not alone, because it's so high energy that it's overwhelming for some people.
Yeah, this
Well-
facial expression
yeah,
is
yeah.
so
Well, I
ugly.
mean, Robin Williams was a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever. God bless his soul.
God bless his soul.
But I mean, talk about energy. If you've ever watched an interview with Robin Williams, you would almost want to throw up. How much he's just like.
Oh yeah.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He'll say 2 sentences and have 5 jokes in both of them. That you'll get it 2 days later. You're like, oh shit, he did say that and that. Like he's all over the place.
Yeah.
But and I found they were the same in terms of interviews. They're all over the place. They just kind of just blurt jokes out constantly, one after the other, and don't stop. But well, that's
God,
my
that's
rant.
crazy.
Okay, good.
But we were listening because
Whatever.
we're polite.
We're listening because we have no choice. I'm just going to be
Whatever,
honest.
whatever.
I'm gonna say-
You know, like,
That's right.
okay,
Somebody
see,
come up with another topic. Okay.
uh,
Actually, I did have another question for you.
Sure.
What do you hope to do with your models?
Oh, I enjoy it for myself, and I like sharing it. So
you're gonna exhibit that.
I'm participating in the art hop, and I'll continue along with it, and it's never really done, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a constant. You're doing landscaping, vegetation, the models, and there's always things that you can improve upon. So it's a lifelong hobby, and I'm part of modeling groups, and this is a common thing that you see with the modelers. They've been working on their layout for like decades.
Mm-hmm.
So we all go through phases in life, right?
Yeah.
So this is a phase. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it, and clearly at some point it's going to die down a bit, and I'll get involved in another phase, like perhaps maybe getting some exercise and losing all this weight I gained over the pandemic and modeling in my basement. I see it. I'll continue to engage in it and share with people, but it's all in moderation, right?
But did you ever think of maybe giving classes?
No.
Because you're into marketing and business development.
No, I don't have. People have reached out to me asking me to build the models, because a museum reached out to me to build a model, and some other guy wanted me to build a model because he wanted to present this business concept of this chicken rotisserie restaurant. I was like, I don't have time for that. No, it's not something that I think that would make sense for me, right? Because I don't think I could really make a good living from that, because it just takes so much time.
Yeah.
People don't appreciate how much time it takes.
Exactly,
And 3D printing does not make it easier. It actually makes it more complicated, because now you're designing stuff on a software, right? And it takes a long time to design things, and it takes when you 3D print, there's a lot of failures. Yeah, it was a very long learning curve. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that impacted me, it's very simple, but I had a lot of failures. You know what it was from?
What?
My 3D printer was too cold. I had it in the basement, and it was kind of a little bit. The basement was kind of, it's not damp, but it's
Musty.
yeah, and it was cooler than the upstairs, and I thought that was an advantage. But resin likes to be warm.
Yeah.
It wants to be at 25, 27 degrees. It's a liquid, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's making a solid object out of resin, and it hits it with UV light and solidifies. It's really blows me away every time I see the process happen.
Oh my God.
But it has to be warm, so that's one of the things I learned in that process. So, it's always learning, having fun. But for someone to pay me to do that, I don't think they could afford me.
Okay, that.
And that's where the nerd comes from, right?
That is.
It's,
Actually, I have a fast. Could you build a replica of the Olympic Stadium, but one that would work, so they could learn how to
I can.
fucking fix that
I
piece
will.
of
I
shit?
could build one that works. Yes.
That would be sweet.
But it wouldn't be fair, because obviously I'm working on a very small scale, so that the tensile strength of the materials that I'm dealing with, right, are built for our world, right? They're
Yeah,
not built
for
for any
sure.
scale, right?
Yeah.
So I can make it work, yeah. And I have done, I have done some pretty, like I surprise myself sometimes. Like I wanted to do some lighting, and hand scale is very, very small, right? And I was shocked. They sell LED lights that are smaller than a pinhead. Just, you have to see these things. It's ridiculous. So it's small little things like that you learn about, microelectronics and things that you never knew that were existed. You think, oh, I wonder if I could do this. And the magic about today's world, right, that didn't exist when I was a young boy, was that you have Google.
Yeah.
You Google
Something
it.
that your generation doesn't understand.
You can look up something,
Encyclopedias.
and anything solution out that may
It's
exist
over
out
there,
there.
yeah.
You can find it on Google, and you can say, oh, look, that's what I need, right? And it really revolutionary times in that sense, right? And the pandemic has kind of like accelerated that process, right?
Yeah. All right.
So it was really interesting, and if you want to learn more and see actually this beautiful model, remember to go on May 28, 29.
Yeah, well, people can always reach out to me on social media. I'm always very open, so
Okay.
it doesn't have to be
Where
limited
do
to that.
they can reach you actually? Where is
My Facebook page,
Okay.
Alex Montagano. So just reach me out there, and and I'll reach back out to them and arrange something. I have families come over on a regular basis. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
nice.
nice.
And then there's the art hop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I have to decide for an outfit for that day. It has to be very artistic. I don't know. I'm like artistic nerdy. Is that possible?
It's great.
Or maybe,
perfect
maybe
blend.
you can wear this beautiful,
I could absolutely.
this beautiful necklace. So for everybody out there, so remember that you guys can have this beautiful necklace for free
Yes.
if you go on
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
and leave us a beautiful comment, a
review, yeah.
creativity that includes
Something creative.
Creative. Oh my
Positive.
God, my English tonight.
Creative.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on
You're doing
vacation.
really well.
It's on vacation. So yeah,
Or, by the way, let's extend it. We can do it on YouTube as well. So YouTube and Apple Podcast.
Yes.
We can leave a
I'm
comment.
an Android guy, so that makes me happy.
you
And
can go on Spotify.
an
There you
original
go.
by Emmy Armour. So guys,
Very
go
very
check her
beautiful.
out. It's
Very
beautiful.
nice. Very nice.
Trust me, you want this accessory.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once again, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor of Let's Talk It Out, Richard Bab Photography. Thank you so much, guys. Check him out. He's on Instagram, Richard_Bab, BABB_photography. Excellent work, guys. You will not be sorry. You should definitely give him a call for all your photography needs.
Exactly. Go check him out and go check us out.
Check
And
us out. Oh, we'll check each other out.
Let's go check
And I'll go do some
ourselves.
checking out. I don't know.
That's what I know.
Anyways.
It's like,
Nerds,
Okay.
nerds don't check.
yeah, it's like we got kind of entangled in the checking process.
Whatever's happening.
It's okay, it happens.
But
It
it's
happens.
okay,
We come out alive. That's the most important.
Bye, guys. See you
Guys.
soon
Bye.
and
Have a good
follow
night.
us.
Bye, guys.